Yeah, so the why behind the norms, using with the help of that Google video on how to have productive teams, that was kind of how I kickstarted it. So I made sure that norms were important and that teachers understood the norms, because one of the things I heard when I went around and talked to staff before collaborative response started was the meetings can spiral out of control really quickly. We start talking about budget. We start talking about one kid, one family. So the norms, teachers respect the norms, and they really appreciate the norms because it helps keep us on task, and it makes the meeting more productive and just not a waste of people's time, which sometimes we've all been in those meetings where they go on and on and on and not much gets done. We wanted to make sure that our collaborative team meetings were not one of those meetings. So that's the why, and I think staff do appreciate that. So the norms are at the top of our agenda. We review them, all of them. There's about 5 of them, I think, and we pick one at every staff meeting to pay special attention to. And I actually asked one team member just to make a tick every time a norm is infringed upon. And then we kind of compete with the other teams, and we try and do, that team tries to do better the next month than they did the previous month. So if you got 5 ticks today, you want to try and get 4 or 3 the next month. So it just kind of keeps it a little bit fun, but it keeps the norms fresh, because otherwise they're just words on a page, and sometimes they can get forgotten. So the way they know that they're going to be held accountable. At the beginning, it was mainly the facilitator, which was me, holding people accountable to the norms. And in the development of the norms at our staff meeting, I made sure to explain, like I said earlier, that the norms are, it's all good to make them and they are important, but it's what's even more important is what happens when someone isn't following it. So I made sure to explain to staff what that would look like, and to not be offended that to be offended if it happens to you. So what that means is if you are more than a couple minutes late, or if you are leaving the circle of control, if you're spending too much time talking about a certain kid or a certain family that is an uncontrollable variable, I will remind you of the norms. And that's not to question your teaching practice. That's not to insult you, but it's just to make sure the meeting's more productive and to respect everybody else's time. So I made sure to explain that to staff before our very first meeting. And yeah, it happened a couple times, but it hasn't happened since. And what happens now, and I think a big part of it is because the team knows we're taking tick marks, is that staff actually, in a joking way, in a professional way, in a collegial way, they're holding each other accountable. And I haven't actually had to hold somebody accountable to a norm since my first year. So it has to happen, I think, originally, but people quickly realize that the norms are there for a reason and it's for everybody's benefit.